it's probably not necessary. We'll recognize people with their hand raised, and we will try and stay with our agenda as best as possible, but there are always exceptions that occur. Evening, Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Okay, we have, let's see.
136 Pleasant Street.
That Bill took care of the nuisance letter. I have signed it and it has been put in the mail, as well as Donna emailed it to the owner.
Okay.
Paul,
Yes,
I was gonna take that back and process it. That's going certified from my office.
okay, well, it may not have been mailed. I'll have to check on that, but I know it was a copy was sent to the neighbor who's complained.
Perfect. Yep,
That-
And if it
that's
goes
what
regular
that's
mail,
what I
then-
meant to say. That's what I
Okay.
meant to say.
yep, because
No.
we send certified and regular mail. So
Right,
that,
right.
you know, if the certified for some reason doesn't go through, if we don't get the regular mail returned, we assume that was received, but
Right.
you
The
know, once we get-
certified has to go to the person with the chickens.
correct. Yep.
Yes,
So once we get that green card, we'll start our 30 days on that.
okay.
I noticed the fence went up between those parties. As a matter of fact,
Did not see that.
yeah.
We'll see if that's sufficient or not.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know who put it up, but it was one between the neighbors here, I noticed.
If you've ever herded cats, good luck herding chickens.
Yeah, right.
Coburn Road.
Paul, that was, I think you were gonna talk to owner / selectman to see how things were going with the noise violation. As far
Right,
as
and I
timing
just-
goes.
I saw, it looked like 2 recent complaints from the neighbor. Did I see that correctly?
Well, the video he sent just showed a truck pulling in. That really isn't ours, but you know, he does constantly stay in touch with Michelle at the DEP, and you know, she's curious as to what's happening at the town's end. And you know, I told her that we're you know, we'll get back to her on an update once we talk to selectman / owner. But again, he's working towards his 6 months. I think the original citation went out in May.
Well, I will make it a point tomorrow to speak with the proprietor, and I'll touch bases with Mary Arata in the office, Selectman's office, just to let her know what he tells me, so that we have a couple different boards in the know.
Yeah, and let me know, because I'll keep Michelle in the loop.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, 261 Pleasant Street. A Wildbirds.
Sue, you hopefully have a plan on that one I sent you?
Honestly, if I do, I can't get to it. Well, maybe I can.
I probably sent it a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, but see, my Outlook broke.
Oh,
So
well, I
I'm
can
using
I can
different mail
describe
system.
the situation. This is Steve Lynn's property, where
Okay.
South Street comes up to Pleasant.
Okay,
And the new owner would like to drill a new well. In fact, Darren is the owner. He can probably fill in the blanks as to the need for a new well, but they're proposing a well 20 feet from his property line versus the 50 that's required. But on the other side of the property line is just that farmed field. So there's really no impact on that abutting property.
is the farm field
that-
on the other side of the road, or is it on the same side?
No, if you were coming on South Street towards Pleasant from, say, the municipal building, you
Right,
would pass Crosby's intersection,
right.
and on the right, you would have this farmed field. And as you come up to the
Oh,
stop
that's right.
sign,
It's immediately adjacent, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm with you now.
It's-
Yep.
That's Jane Sawyer's field.
Correct, yeah.
So they're looking for a 30-foot reduction, but again, there's really nothing on that other lot that is being affected by that offset reduction.
And can I ask the reason why a new well is requested?
Yeah, Darren, if you want to,
Sure. So I recently purchased the property April 1st, and on having a water test done, it was found that the current well, which is, probably like 15, 20 feet off the road, is full of salt and chlorides. And, I think in the letter I stated what they were. I know, Bill, you said that they were extremely high, but I mean, they're so high that the tenant has to wipe down dishes after they clean them because of the residue on them, and they can't drink the water. And it's so the the sodium level is 638 milligrams a liter. Chloride is 1,240 milligrams a liter, and manganese is 0.066 manganese milligrams per liter. So those were the three that were way out of whack on the water test. So, I'm just trying to, the goal is to get rid of that well, move it down away from the street, which is, I've had Mike and Steve Sontag and different people tell me that they think it's the road. I hope they're right, that I don't spend a bunch of money to drill a hole in a different place to have it the same way, but it's down the hill. But the challenge is that down the hill, the two barns that are there, there's a lot of asphalt and barn. And, the reason for asking for the variance is just so that I don't have to tear up all this asphalt and have a, 300-foot water line to get the water from down further down. So that's the goal. What it is right now there's a water line that runs from the barn, or actually from the house down to the barn. The goal will be to kind of flip that and then drive the water up to the house from the barn, basically.
I see. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, those contaminant levels are certainly not good.
So being a well regulation, that doesn't have to go to a hearing, right? We can vote on that?
correct.
Right. Yeah, I see. I don't see.
Given the circumstances, I do not have an issue with this. Anybody else speak?
I don't either, and I found the drawing if you'd like me to share it.
Yeah, why don't you?
Sure. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
can, please.
Now, I'm trying to remember, how do I do that? So that's the problem with not having Zoom every week.
Get a little rusty.
I am. Supposed to be a sharing button somewhere.
I take that's a pretty shallow well in the front yard too, Darren, correct?
I don't know the answer to that. I kind of think Steve Sontag is the one that did the testing for me.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know.
And Mike is going to do the drilling, Mike Sullivan.
Yep.
But I think he thought it wasn't real, because I said that to him, like, is it, a 50-foot well or something? And he seemed to
Yeah.
think it was deep, but I don't know that he knows for sure.
Right,
It's probably an
right.
old well. The well literally is in the driveway where they park
Yes.
their cars. There's a metal cover, which is below grade. So,
About
I know.
how, Darren, excuse me, about how far off the existing road is the existing well?
I would say probably 15 to 20 feet.
Okay.
Here you go. You guys can see this.
Oh, yeah,
Yep. All right.
there we go. Oh, yeah. And that'd be smart to pump it back up the line if you could, sure.
Yeah, I just noticed looking at the sketch, the existing well's also less than 100 feet from the septic system, which isn't great. So this will obviously get it away from that source of contamination also.
And they're able to get a truck. Michael can get his truck between there and the garage where it's nice and remote, huh?
Yeah,
Looks-
one thing we did do, I gave Bill an updated drawing. I pulled it back a little further so that it's where the other building goes in, and that gets me a little more space. So this you'll see is 15 feet. On the one I
Yeah.
gave Bill today is 20 feet from the boundary, and it will also
Okay.
make it easier for Mike. I mean, I'll have to trench a little further, but it'll make it easier for Mike, and it brings it a little farther away from the boundary. So if you see how the buildings jog,
Yep.
Mhm.
you'll
Yeah.
see there that right there at that jog off of that.
Okay,
Yeah, and there's a copy of the latest plan in the file at the town office.
okay,
Okay,
all right. Well, I'll make a motion.
go for it.
I make a motion that we pass the well variance that he's asking for that property.
All in favor, Sue,
I,
Bobby,
All right,
Paul, aye, all in favor.
Thank you very much.
Darren?
folks.
Go forth and good luck with your new well.
I appreciate it.
Darren,
Yes, Bill.
I thought I took a copy of that initial water test that was done in the existing well, but I don't see it in my file. If you could just get us a copy of that at your convenience, so
Sure.
we have it on record.
Yep, I'll email it to you.
And I'll take care of this well permit next time I'm in the office. Could be as soon as tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you, folks, for the variance, and also thank you for serving on the board.
Yep.
Us town folks, we appreciate it. I know
Yeah.
what it's like, and it's a pretty thankless job, so I'm thanking you for it. So have a good night.
thank you.
Thank you.
Darrell.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, 272 West Street. Number of bedrooms.
West, and that's Douglas, right?
Yes, it is. So Doug might be able to get into specifics, but he's proposing an addition. I don't know if you remember, the board looked at this months ago. And it's served by an existing cesspool, which the board did not approve. So he's looking at upgrading the cesspool to a new septic system. And the question is, what the design flow will be for that new system. So, we can run through kind of the history of that existing house as far as how the owner feels that it was 4 bedrooms originally. He did some revisions, renovations that reduced the existing home by a bedroom to 3, but he would like to, put this new upgrade system in to handle 4, because again, he is proposing a large addition. So Douglas, I don't know if you want to describe to the board kind of the history of the property.
Hello, guys. So basically, that's what Bill just said. So, there is no, the last meeting that we had, you guys requested me to get a new septic system installed. And I do have like Steve work on the doing the plans and the project for that. So that's with him. He mentioned that about like another 20 days, he'll have everything ready to go to show the board and everybody. So, and the only thing is, go ahead.
Would that be Ross Associates, Douglas?
Yeah, David, yes, Ross Association.
Okay.
David
Okay,
Ross.
yeah.
So I forgot his last name. That's Steve.
Steve Sears.
Sears.
Steve
Yes,
Sears,
that's
yeah.
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 I was trying to remember, like
Come
that's a
with it.
retail store, but I didn't- Steve Sears.
Right,
So
yeah.
he's working on that. So long story short, so I will satisfy the board as request with a new septic system. I guess we just have to define that the board will accept like to be considered like a 4 bedrooms, because when I purchased the home was like 4 bedrooms and 1 bath. Now after the renovations, I have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So even with the addition, I will still have 4 bedrooms, like same as when I purchased. So I just want to see if the board can recognize the home as a 4 bedrooms. Also, the other request that I had, it's like Steve is still working on that. So as Bill knows, so Bill was here with him when he came to do the percolation test. So he asked me for 20 something days to get everything in order, all the paperwork. But also time is flying fast. So I just got approved with the ZBA for the petition that we did. And I was wanting to check with the Board of Health if you guys would be okay, kind of to allow me to proceed with the plans. When I say allow me to proceed, it would be setting the foundations and stuff like that, so I don't lose so much time into the winter. So because the foundation won't interfere with the septic system anyways.
Any questions, Billy? Will it interfere
Well,
with any of?
Well, first I can describe to the board, and these are all plans available at the office. I don't think they're available to screen share, But, you know, Douglas provided a layout of the existing house when he bought it. And it was 4 rooms, first floor, 3 rooms, second floor. So the way the rooms were labeled, it was a 7-room total home with 4 bedrooms. He converted one of the upstairs bedrooms into a bathroom. So the existing house as it sits now is 4 rooms, first floor, 2 rooms, second floor. So a 6-room total house with 3 bedrooms. And now with the new addition to that 6-room house, he'd be adding 3 rooms total. So we'd come to a 9-room total with the addition, and by definition, that's a 4-bedroom in Title V, and it matches, you know, what he says was there when he bought the house originally, which was 4 bedrooms. He basically removed a bedroom and created a second bath on the second floor. So that's really the
What do you-
question at hand.
What are you being taxed on, 4 bedrooms or 3, Douglas?
I guess you will be taxed like by the square footage of the house, I guess, right? I think I'm taxed like, I didn't saw any change on my taxes actually after renovation went up $2,000. So
Yeah, I didn't
know
know
they
if it was
still-
4 bedrooms on your, is it 4 bedrooms on your tax bill or 3?
I don't have that answer for you. I do not know.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I just know I'm paying on time. That's how I know.
Yeah, I know,
Somebody,
yeah. It's
somebody
just-
help me out here. Which house is this?
This is
oh,
next to the Country Falls Liquors across from the Flat Penny.
Two up from Country Falls, Paul, on the left.
Okay.
Just before the Seslock house.
Right before Seslick?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And
Well,
have you seen the plans, Bill?
Well, I've seen the house plans, yes, but again, the septic plan is being designed.
Septic plans are in the works.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we still have,
again-
So Douglas, what are you asking for tonight? I want to be clear. Just, I'm not
I'm
sure.
asking that with the new addition, because we need to know, like, if you guys will accept the new addition and the whole planning that we have, and like to be accepted as 4-bedroom homes. So then Steve will just, you know, plan for septic system that will cover like our needs.
Mhm.
So if you guys say, well, no, we're just gonna recognize a 3-bedroom, then he's gonna design a 3-bedroom, you know. But I would prefer have like a larger system than a smaller. So
Yeah, right. The design can't be complete until they know if they're designing for 3 or 4 bedrooms.
Right,
That's the
sure, sure.
question.
Yep. Any thoughts by anyone, please?
Well, it sounds like if it was a 4-bedroom and they're designing for a 4-bedroom now, shouldn't be an issue.
Right. And as long as the new part isn't infringing on any, you know, property that could be used for the septic, that's all. It sounds like a good plan. We can't really judge it until we see the plan, correct, Billy? But they can work
Well,
on it.
the plan will require variances, and again, it's really what the board accepts as an existing design flow based on the original home that was there.
Well, if
Which
it
I know
was
we don't
four-
have.
Yeah, if it
I'd
was
say-
4-bedroom to begin with, okay, and
Right.
now it's going through
bedrooms.
alterations. I think we've been here before on other properties. We kind of go along with the fact that it was a 4-bedroom. And if the new septic design accommodates a 4-bedroom, then I think we're okay with this.
thank you very much.
I agree.
Does that sound reasonable to you, Bill?
Yes, yeah, again, he removed a bedroom, created a
Mhm.
second bath, and now they're looking to regain that bedroom.
They're
back.
looking to regain that bedroom via an addition, so.
Yeah.
Family is growing, so my wife is expecting another one, so I gotta move fast.
That's no excuse.
But it is true, so just so you guys know. So, and my
I
other
don't know if a
request,
vote is necessary, but let's have all members just weigh in. I'm fine with moving forward with a 4-bedroom.
I'm good with it.
I'm
Are we-
okay with it.
Okay,
I'll s-
Right,
Go
and
for it,
All right,
then build
Douglas.
that
thank you very
bedroom
much.
for
And
the baby.
have fun spending your money.
yeah, so the other request was this. So I'm gonna be doing the septic system anyways. So as soon as the Steve has the plan, so we're gonna be installed and all that. And what I was going to request, if it's possible, I don't know if there, even if exists something like that, which is a pre-approval or like, approval.
Hmm. Now,
Because
Bill is going to have to review Steve's plans,
Right.
so there's really no
no way
pre-approval.
to.
You're gonna have to be patient. There could be a
Yeah.
little bit of a time lag, but we have a procedure, a process to go through. And, I'm sure what you say is true, but we need somebody to review the plans that Steve puts forth. And then, once those are okay, you can move forward.
Okay.
Well, if there may have to be a variance hearing.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
So
all.
this will require a hearing.
Yeah,
That's all. Otherwise, it's basic.
that's good. So thank you very much. And I will let Steven know that we are planning for 4-bedroom septic system.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
Very
guys.
good.
Right.
Have a good night. Thanks, Bill.
Yep, good
You
night.
too. Okay.
That brings
Hi-
us to
hi, Donna.
Bigelow Road.
Hi, sorry about that. I got bumped off again.
Oh, that's all right. You're on now.
Yeah,
If we forgot anything, you can let us know in a little bit.
yep, thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is Bigelow Road.
Yeah, that's Wayne. I think he's looking for some ZBA comments to ZBA for a proposal.
Yep.
Hi,
Um,
Wayne.
Hi, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Mr. Brookings, it's nice seeing you again.
Been a while.
I see that Don Provencher is here as well, so he's on your agenda. This is like a Beatles reunion to me. I mean, I haven't seen these guys for years. We've done some work with Don throughout my career, and with Bill when he started way back when. It was like in the late 80s, early 90s, Bill.
1988, it's only been 34 years, yep.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, everybody's still alive.
Yeah, knock on wood, knock on wood. And so I started working with Bill on different projects since the late 80s in a number of towns. So it's great to see you guys again and again, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Thanks for having us. Wayne Bellick again, Land Design Collaborative. Kathy Adams of Kane Industrial Trust was to be here tonight, but had an unexpected conflict, so she's.
Excuse me, is anybody else having a hard time understanding what he's saying? Because I am.
Slightly, not too bad.
Okay.
I don't know if you can speak up, get closer to your microphone, just to try and get rid of that problem.
Sure,
please.
sure. Is this better, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So again, Wayne Bellick, Land Design Collaborative, Kathy Adams of Kane Industrial Trust is unavailable to join us tonight. She had an unexpected conflict. The reason I'm here, and again, thank you, Bill, for coordinating this. The reason I am here is we currently have a variance petition before the Zoning Board of Appeals. The variance is to seek relief from setbacks or location of parking areas on a site plan located, and I'll get into that in a minute. And we're about to file a special permit and site plan approval application with the Board of Health, or with the ZBA as well. In their zoning bylaw, specifically under section 123410, it requires written evidence from the building inspector, the Board of Health, and the Conservation Commission that the proposed use is capable of complying with the bylaws, rules, and regulations and statutes within their jurisdiction. So when we had met with the ZBA, she had requested that we request a letter from you folks, as we have with Conservation. I will be meeting with them again tomorrow night. And that would be part of our filing with the ZBA. So if you folks would be so kind as to allow a screen share with me, I can show you what we have on the screen and kind of walk through the project as to what they're looking to do. And as we're doing that, you guys are teeing me up for that. We have done some soil testing on the property. I know that Bill, throughout his illustrative career, has been out there over the years, has done some soil testing. I don't know if it was witnessed, or obviously it was witnessed. I don't know what the intent was, but more recently, we had gone out there with Bill for some witness soil testing to site the sewage disposal area. And I've got screen one. Are you folks able to see that?
Yep.
Terrific.
Yes, yes, we do.
Thank you. So basically, folks, what we're looking at is the site. I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but the Entwistle building is here. This is 495. North is straight up the sheet. So this is the end of Bigelow Road. The town line and county line run through here.
Oh, yeah.
So this portion of the site is in the town of Hudson. This portion of the site is in the town of Berlin. To the north, we have town of Berlin conservation land. And this is pretty peculiar, but it's a piece of property here in the town of Berlin owned by the town of Hudson, which is interesting. But in any event, we had several years ago, had gone before the Conservation Commission to obtain an order of conditions to allow for the drilling of a public water supply well out in the back here to allow for the development on the property. Now,
Right.
Bigelow Road does have public water out in the road. However, the town of Hudson will not allow the Canes to connect to it, which is pretty peculiar. She's still working on that. Quite honestly, is pretty much given up, but she's got a couple ideas that she's going to try to revisit that again. So she was forced to drill a public water supply well. It's been permitted by DEP. That work, I know that the family has a long history with Northeast Geoscience, Jay Billings. So Jay had been involved in the permitting of the lot. So what you folks see here is the existing topography. This is actually a site prep plan, part of the plan set that we're proposing. At this, when this was plan set, this draft set was created, we had yet to create the existing conditions plan. But basically what you're seeing is the existing contours through here. Here's the wetland through this area and here. Access to the site for the work for the public water supply well was through an access drive that was created through here, through a small wetland crossing up to the back to the site of the well. We had gone out, like I said, and had performed some soil testing. I'm scrolling to the next sheet. Actually, the next.
There it is. Yep.
This is probably a better illustration of what's going on out here. So most recently, we had done some soil testing out there for stormwater in these areas and here, up through here and in here, to determine the estimated seasonal high groundwater for the design of the system and the textural class of the soil. In addition, we had gone out with Bill to perform the witness soil testing in this area here and up through here for the sewage disposal system. The building that we're proposing is about 92,500 square feet. It's a two-story building. Each slab is is separated by about 20 feet. There's a lower section in here with loading docks, an upper section in here, again, about 20 feet higher, with a couple of loading docks in here as well. What they're proposing here is a cannabis cultivation manufacturing facility. It's zoned for it, and that's where they're headed. They're going to have access into the site through here, parking down below here, parking up here. Rooftop runoff is going to be collected and routed through a system here. We've also added another system in here. So we would meet the state stormwater regulations in terms of stormwater attenuation and meeting all the criteria, including groundwater recharge. So the $94, the $64,000 question is, well, what are we looking at for a septic up here? So like I said, we have 92,000 square feet. It's manufacturing and warehouse in terms of the category under Title V. Based on the perk rates, we had, if I recall, Bill, the highest rate we had in this round of testing was 9 minutes per inch. We are looking at a system that will be required to accept a daily flow rate of about 2,000 gallons per day. It is going to be a pump system. We're going to have, if I could scroll back up to this sheet here, it will be a pump system. Oh, I can't stand this. I should have downloaded it. There we go. So we have a, bear with me. So we have a pump system that's actually going to come out, wrong sheet. Please bear with me. Next sheet. There we go. So we're looking at a pump
Oh, yeah.
system. So it's going to come out through here, through a septic tank, into the pump, out through here, through a force main, which is yet to be sized, but it will come up through here. We came through this section. We do have a permit from conservation, or actually we had to go for a superseding order with DEP, which we received a superseding order of conditions from them to go through the wetland, a temporary alteration through a force main that is going to come up through here and feed the primary and the reserve disposal areas. That force main, as it comes through the wetland, what we're proposing is any utility that comes through the wetland, for instance, water, likewise is going to be coming through that wetland system. Data transmission and electrical will be coming through this area in here as well. All those utilities will be sleeved. So we're going to have a sleeve around each of them.
Okay.
Not that we need
Yeah.
to read anything, you just cut and pull. So again, we're looking at systems up in here, primary and reserve, not embedded. If I recall, Bill, you folks don't allow embedded trenches. They need to be independent. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So we are looking at a primary and a reserve in this location here. Well radius for the zone 1 is 144 feet, which is located here. And the IWPA is 443 feet out in this area in here. So we're starting to get beyond the zone 1 well radius. So basically, like I said, when we design this, it will comply with your regulations in Title V. But because of the zoning bylaw requirement, we're required to reach out to you folks and seek a letter indicating, again, as I mentioned earlier, if you folks would like, I can reread that, but it's section 1234.10 of the zoning bylaw. We would look to, our approach here is to file all the permits at the same time. So we would be filing with you folks, the Board of Health, probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. They're going to be in the same general time frame. First one we're getting out the door is site plan approval and the special permit. And then with that, we'll be filing with conservation and you folks. So that's basically the presentation. Like I said, I have to go to Concom tomorrow night. I was before them before. They're looking at it as well. They wanted a set of site plans. They wanted me to provide them. So I'll be providing them site plans. So that's where we are. And I'm open for any questions from the board.
Hey, Wayne.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
What is the basis, or how do you get the calculation of 2,000 gallons per day going to the septic?
Good question. So under Title V, we looked at the type of facility. It is a manufacturing and a warehouse type of facility. These facilities, so she has a tenant that she has an agreement with right now. These facilities at Newton Night, this one, like I said, is 92,500 square feet. The number of employees vary. We have this currently sized under the Title V requirements for the warehouse and manufacturing factory at 20 gallons per person per day. So we're assuming 100 people in the facility.
Okay.
And speaking with her in her communications with the client, a facility like this varies from anywhere between 25 to maybe 100 people in the facility, but certainly no more than 100. So that's what we're targeting.
Okay.
Okay,
You know.
Second question. This is a grow facility. Requires water. Where is
Yep.
that coming from? And do you have any calculation on needs?
Yes, that's a good question as well. So the water will be coming from the water supply well. My understanding, and
So coming from the public water supply
Yeah.
well?
that's correct. And like I said, Mr. Chairman, she's still working with the town to try to gain access to the town of Hudson's public water as well. But that doesn't look good. So what they've done is I'm not exactly sure what the yield was on that. I can get you folks that information when we do our filing. So she's got a yield on this that the hydrogeologist said was a good yield for what they're proposing. So that actual demand, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but my understanding is that the yield generated by the well was sufficient for the hydrogeologist.
So you don't have a consumption number at this point?
I do not off the top of my head. I had something, honestly, Mr. Chairman, when I first started looking at this, was a few years ago, and I did have some numbers. I would imagine that it's probably up around that $2,000 a day. My understanding is it doesn't use that much water because they do recycle the water up to X amount of times, almost like cooling towers where they can recycle it 7 times and then they do a blowdown of the system to a discharge point. If they do require that, it would be an underground injection control well, which we would get registered with the state.
As we move forward, this board would like to get certainly an estimated consumption number, particularly if it's going to come out of the public water supply.
So okay, understood. And that public water supply is dedicated. The only reason that it triggers a public water supply is because of the number of tenants or folks in the building.
Right, but now you're talking a public water supply that's serving 2 masters.
Yep.
You're serving people and that you're serving the growing business, and it would be nice to have some differentiation there. Just for our records, and who knows what the future bears. So it's information we would like.
Sure, Mr. Chairman. What I can do is through Bill, I could get that fairly soon to you folks. You'll probably get that to you guys this week so that he can disseminate that to the board members.
Okay.
And, again, I know I have it somewhere in my notes. I can just go right back to the hydrogeo and find out what he's got. So it sounds like you're looking for a couple numbers. One dedicated to the employees and the second one to the facility itself.
Well, just a little background. The town of Berlin is strictly well and septic. We have another situation, development with public water supply, and they want to put in irrigation wells. And, we're just concerned about water usage. I mean, there's a band in most of the towns around us because they have public water supplies. But if we start tapping into our deep well reservoirs, if it should start to affect residents, then we have a problem. So we're just trying to, stay on top of who needs what.
Yep, fully appreciate that concern, Mr. Chairman.
Is this I'm trying to think of the word, a hydro grow facility?
Yeah, hydroponics type facility.
Yes.
Yeah, so At first, I thought it was. My understanding, no, they're gonna be using soils. The same question was asked by the Concom when we met with them 2 weeks ago. And that's where Ms. Adams had indicated that it was going to be a soil growing type facility.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think when all this is said and done, the Board of Health is gonna need a tour of the growing facility.
And I'm sure it'd be happy. It's actually, when you look at it and how this, once this became legal in the state, how these things, as you folks know, are taking off. When you see this type of thing, it's pretty interesting. And you bring up hydroponics. That is something to see. I worked on a project in Hopkinton that was a hydroponics facility, and it was an education and a half. And when you see
Okay.
plants grown like that, it's pretty cool. But I'll certainly, yeah, well, I'm sure she'd be happy to do that.
Right.
I need
I think that
growing.
was
That was-
requested by others.
No, Billy, and Alec, would there wouldn't need to be a sewer line length, as that is less than 400 feet, correct?
I don't know what that distance is until we get the plan.
Sure.
Oh,
And I
okay,
know
all right.
through the chair, I know there is a requirement, and I know this from my old days, working up in the Neshoba towns, that I believe this is one of the towns that if you exceed a length of 100 feet from the facility to the building, you're required a waiver or something. Is that correct?
Actually, we've changed it up a little here in Berlin. Billy
Oh.
can fill you in on those.
Yeah, they've gone to
I
a
think-
400-foot max, so I don't know what that length will end up being.
Okay.
That was the question, so.
Wayne, what's the zoning variance that's being sought? Just curious.
That's a great question. So as we laid this out, in fact, this is where I can go back to my layout material sheet. So this line in here represents the side yard setbacks. And yeah, so it goes like, so it comes over like this or something. Under zoning, what is required is that the parking cannot be located within this side yard setback. The Kane Industrial Trust not only owns this, but they own the Entwistle piece.
Right,
So in speaking with them and looking at the environmental concerns here and the other side of the wetland, knowing that further north, we have the town-owned open space, we worked with the Canes and we said, listen, leave this land alone over in here. I said, we could use this for sewage disposal, keep it permeable, get your well house over there with the pump, minimize the impacts to this area here. It's close to the town open space. Just leave it alone. You have development over in this area here, keep everything to the south of this wetland. So that was the approach that we took. So in order to do that and meet the parking requirements of the zoning bylaw, we needed 100, I think it was 132 spaces. So in doing that, it caused us to be within the side yard setback. This particular requirement, the way the zoning bylaw is written, is somewhat ambiguous. We're taking the conservative approach. We did discuss this with the building commissioner, that it's ambiguous. We're taking the conservative approach, saying that we do need a variance for that. The one we certainly need a variance for is parking in front of the building, between the building and the public way. The length of this access drive in here to the property line is 330 feet. So looking at from the edge of the public way up to the building, you're looking at about 500 feet. So that's the approach that we're taking. We're keeping everything concentrated. The alternative to that is to take the parking, put it behind the building, shift the building up, rotate it parallel to the property line. But our thought there was, we're looking at rooftop runoff to be discharged into here, into stormwater treatment units, subsurface. So we're going to get not only stormwater attenuation to manage the peak rates, but we're also going to get groundwater recharge. We're looking at the same thing in this area in here. So as we presented it to the commission, our thought was, why send that water in the parking areas in close proximity to the wetlands. Why don't we just have the clean rooftop, have this area here naturally vegetated,
Yeah.
and leave it at that. And so that was the reason, Bill. That's why we're seeking those two variances. Our sense is with this ZBA, we'd like to think that we're going to get it. They seem like a pretty reasonable group, and they understand what we're trying to achieve here. If we don't get it, we do have an alternative.
You are in a remote area back there, so it is, you actually have it, but it's not
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the approach that we're taking.
sure. Okay.
So again, basically what we're looking for is we're going to be filing with them. We need to have our filing before them by the 17th. And like I said, what I'd like to do is get you folks the information you're looking for. And if you folks would be so kind.
Yeah,
What's,
I don't,
please be specific in terms of what you need from the Board of Health. So we don't, have any miscues.
I think he froze.
Ah,
basically, I think just the systems in the well, I think, Paul, what areas,
No,
we
he's,
might have lost.
I think
We
he's
got
gone.
Don's here. He might
Yeah,
have
we lost.
clicked out trying to get his plan out.
Bill, are you aware of what they're looking for?
Well, I've spoken to Wayne on the phone about this. They're looking for some comment from the Board of Health that, there's some, he'll get us the actual wording from the ZBA
Okay.
requirements, but there's something about the site being adequate for the proposed use. And, what we say is gonna have to be very qualified because DEP has to ultimately give final approval of the public water supply. And we
Right.
have not seen a septic design, which will need to be in accordance with current state and local regs. So, what we'll say will be very qualified, but, as long as those items are met, we wouldn't have an issue.
correct.
We'll have to draft something up.
Okay. I'm good with it as long
I'm-
as,
All right.
I'm good, as long as it, it takes everything under consideration, Bill.
Yes.
They've worked hard on this site, I know that already.
Mr. Chairman. How do you feel
If
about it?
we are prepared, we can move on to 81 Peach Hill Road. septic
Uh,
tank.
Paul, could we hit Don while he's here for the?
Oh,
Highland
certainly,
Ridge
absolutely.
irrigation
Yeah, I
well?
see, he's patiently waiting there.
All right. And that's in regard to, please.
Highland Ridge irrigation well.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Highland Ridge
Yeah.
irrigation well. How could I forget that? It's such a wonderful,
He's been quiet, so.
but
it's
let me just express some Board of Health concerns and we'll move forward. With the potable water supply wells and now an irrigation well, we have any number of residents who are concerned that something, it may be of detriment to their own domestic water supply. We have no specific grounds to see or say that that's going to happen, but we want to be on record that you folks are aware, that we're aware that things can happen. And if a lot of water is being drawn out within whatever the law allows, we may be knocking on your door at some point in the future. But certainly at this point, you folks need the irrigation well, you have your potable water supply wells, and we have no strong basis to deny the irrigation well. And if any of the other members care to join in, by all means.
No, I concur with you, Paul. It's a lot of water, but the science behind it they gave us sounds good, as long as it turns out that way, Dawn. I'm okay with it. Or we have to be, sort of.
Sue?
I
Mhm.
am too, but again, if people's wells start to go dry, we will have to revisit.
I just want to make sure that's duly recorded in the minutes, and Dawn, you pass that word along to the powers to be. But we are, as a board, we're willing to go ahead and grant the irrigation wells. And I know some people will think that's just crazy because, there's water everywhere. Well, when you have a town without a public water supply, we think about these things.
You have any comments, Dawn?
No, I don't really have anything new to present. I mean, everything was already discussed at the prior meetings and, we're aware, if you need to reach out and tell Highland Ridge to shut the irrigation well down if there are, if there are drought conditions that persist in the future or whatever happens, that's just something we're gonna have to live with, so that's.
Sure.
If you drive around town, you'll notice most of the front lawns are kind of crisp and crunchy at the moment. The
Yeah, we
town,
don't water.
yeah, we're not watering our lawns. We're just gonna let them be crispy for a while. So
Right.
I understand that you want to hydro seed and get everything going to prevent erosion. But, we definitely do not need bright green lawns in the middle of this drought. So kind of keep that in mind if you could.
Well
Yeah.
said, Sue.
Has the well been drilled? Have you started the well yet, or?
No,
No, they don't have the
No.
permit yet.
we don't have the permit.
Right, right. Yeah, I just didn't, you had the location and everything, you just didn't, but yeah. Yeah.
Right. I didn't file myself, so someone, probably the well driller is gonna file. It doesn't.
Yep, Mike Sullivan has already filed a permit
Yeah.
application, but again, it's on hold until the board
Oh, yeah,
made the
yeah.
decision.
So we would need to take a vote, Mr. Chairman.
yes.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion
I'll make,
to
oh,
approve the
Go ahead,
well
sir.
permit.
Okay,
I'll second
Bob?
that motion.
all right,
second
all in
that.
favor, Sue,
Aye.
Bobby,
Aye.
Paul, aye. Well permit is granted.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for your patience, Dawn.
No problem. Good to see you, Wayne. Take care.
You as well, Don. Take care, bud. Mr. Chairman, thanks. I'm sorry. I thought I said something like, usually the only one that hangs up on me is my wife when I tell her I love her. And I'm thinking, what did I say? What did I do? Try to get back on. I started an email to Bill. I typed like 50 characters and only 3 came up. So I have a feeling it was on my end. So I do apologize for that, but like
We
I
didn't
said,
do that to you, Wayne.
what's
Not
that?
We didn't do that to you.
a problem,
Thank you.
not a problem.
Thank you. So like I said, I will get the information you folks were looking for. I will request that. In fact, when we're done here, I'll send an email off, get that, and then I'll flip it over to Bill.
Okay.
And so the question is in terms of what I requested in terms of a letter. Again, just looking for something that, provided that it complies with your regulations, it would be something that you would support. Again, and we're going to be
Yeah.
environmentally
Yeah.
sensitive to this as well.
Right. Well, as Billy said, we can't comment too much till we see a septic plan, Wayne, of course. But
Understood.
as long as it's all falls within, pretty much the regs, we don't really have I don't have a problem, speaking for myself, but.
Thank you.
I've got the that 123410, Wayne emailed it to me, so it's pretty lax in the wording, written evidence from the Building Inspector, Board of Health, Conservation Commission that the proposed use is capable of complying with the bylaws, rules, and regulations within their jurisdiction. So again, we'd simply be qualifying that DEP approval is necessary for the public water supply and that the septic design must meet current state and local regulations. So hopefully that'll be adequate.
I would say that it would be through the chair, Bill. I think it would be adequate. Again, I think the operative word in there is capable
Correct.
of complying.
So it's on you to show us that.
Yep, and that's what I would do. Like I said, we would be looking to provide you guys with a system, fully complying system. We may actually seek some relief. So, Mr. Chairman, migraine due to the weather, I get them.
Oh, certainly not the meeting.
Yeah, I actually suffer from migraines. I just popped during this meeting. I take a indomethacin because I do get migraines because of the weather. And we just had a front come through. I don't know if
Looking-
you're experiencing it.
Oh, I just get headaches. I don't get migraines.
Yeah, I just get married. So which is pretty much the same thing. But like I said, what we would be looking to do is it would comply. If we do have to seek relief, it would probably be only to the 400-foot length. If that's something the board would entertain. Again, not sure. I don't have a CAD file up before me, but we would look to try to comply with it. So,
Yeah,
Well, let's
we-
wait till we get there, see what needs to be done, then we move forward.
okay,
we have varied it a little, but that's what the reg is up to 400 now.
yep, much appreciated. Would it be safe to say that probably within the next week or so, I might expect a letter that's kind of loosey-goosey as we just discussed?
Would an email be adequate?
That would cover it for me.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get together in the office and draft something,
Alright.
Paul.
Yep.
Fine with that.
Much appreciated. Well, we look forward to working with you folks. And like I said, with Bill, we go a long ways back. As you can see, Bill, the Chrome Dome that I have, I will attribute that to marriage, 34 years of which she's been blessed. But yeah, so it's been a number of miles, but still looking good there, Bill. You're still looking good.
Yep.
Listen, I
Looking great
appreciate
these
it.
days.
So we
Kathy.
actually talked about COVID as well and what you guys had to endure. Much appreciated. And that the gentleman earlier that commented on your commitment. I've served my community in various boards and commissions for over 30 years. I know it's a thankless job. Absolutely is. So I appreciate all of those that do that. So again, thank you very much.
Okay, have a good night.
You folks
Be in
as well.
touch.
Yeah.
Good night, Wayne.
Night, Wayne. Nice to meet you.
Okay, we're down to 81 Peach Hill Road, septic tank permit.
Yeah, that is based on a Title V that's listed below. Top of the tank is cracked, so I think Paul Wheeler's machine's already on site to replace that existing 900-gallon tank with a 1,500-gallon new tank.
What's the name on that? Kessler? Is it,
Kessler,
Bill?
yep.
Okay.
And that needs a vote, correct?
Well, it's just again, once the permit's drafted, if the board allows me to sign it, I'll move that paperwork forward.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Please sign it, Bill. Okay, that brings us down to 8 Brigham Road, a D-box.
Yeah, in this case, again, a D-box permit based on a Title V that's listed below, and that is the last name Barry on 8 Brigham Road.
Yeah. 8 Brigham. Yep.
Has that been done or does that need to be done, Bill?
That, I looked at it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gave the installer a verbal based on, I always review the report first, and if that looks adequate, then I let them move forward with the work, just to keep
Okay.
things moving.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you have 3 Title V reports. 8 Brigham Road needed a new D-box. 12 Colson Road.
Yeah, so 8 Brigham was a conditional pass, needed a box. 12 Colson is a pass. 191 Gates Pond Road is a pass, and 81 Peach Hill was a conditional pass again, needs a septic tank.
Okay. Well, we-
191 was an unconditional pass, Billy?
No, it was a pass.
Just plain pass, yes.
Yep.
Good. How was your vacation, Bill?
It was great. I'm amazed at how not busy Moosehead Lake is. It's not that
Oh,
far
you were up
away.
at Moosehead, wow.
Yeah, it was-
Nice
I've
up
never
there,
been.
huh?
I've always wanted to check it out. I've
Uh,
never been. It was very, very relaxing.
Did you
Yep.
go by Mount Kineo, Billy?
Yeah, you're on the edge of civilization up there, 20
Yeah,
minutes
you are.
north and you're just on dirt roads with no names, no towns. It's pretty amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we rented a boat. We saw Mount Kineo and all that. It was awesome.
Terrific.
Last time I was up there, there was no police. It was just the
Yeah.
state troopers that come through once a month and.
Yep.
Every hour. Yeah.
That's how it was. My friend had a camp in northern Vermont, literally 20 minutes from Canada, and yeah, there were no local police for sure.
Was that up around Derby? No.
Glover, Barton, that area.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no kidding.
Mm.
Very good. Well, you had a good time then.
Okay,
Yeah, we're going back next year. We liked it quite a bit.
Good.
what
Bill,
else do we have?
anything else for the board?
I do not.
Do we see a plan from Flat Penny, Billy? We spoke with him and gave him,
They
go
they
ahead.
have submitted. I just came in my office yesterday for the tight tank. I will have that for next meeting on the 16th. We'll actually be in person, so I'll have that plan for the board. Yep.
Okay,
oh, good, very good.
and next meeting, we're gonna be addressing Bellevue.
Yes, again, that's one of the letters I left was the letter to the owner indicating that hearing had been continued to that night.
Right, okay, yeah, that's been signed, that's waiting.
Yep, so I will get those out certified.
Okay,
Sounds good. Anything
Um,
else, Mr. Chairman?
I don't have anything else for Bill, maybe a couple things for the Board of Health,
Okay,
so.
Just a question, Sue. A couple people have asked about the COVID test kits that are out on the counter. I give people like 2 at a time. Is that adequate for dispersal to the public?
give as many out as they want.
Okay.
We'll have 2 more boxes under the desk,
Yep.
so.
Okay, but people are taking. I've already given a couple people 2 at least this week.
Now, I just read something that those test kits are good through December.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a sticker.
Yeah,
that-
but the sticker we put on was for 3 months, I thought.
I forwarded you, I think, an email today that indicates the QR code sticker that we put on will bring someone to the most current link. So any additional extension of expiration date will be through that QR code. So new
Just through the
stickers,
QR code, okay.
right? So there will not be new stickers necessary because that was a big question for a lot of people. Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Bill.
Good night, Bill.
All right,
Right.
have a good one. And yeah, Paul, we'll catch up and we'll try to get something drafted up for the ZBA and
Yes,
I'll take care of everything else.
all right, sounds
All right.
good.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Right.
Okay, Paul, what do you have left for us?
Collecting my thoughts right now. I spoke with Irene Condon today. First of all, and I know I have, but congratulations to Donna and Sue for submitting, filing, and getting that grant awarded for a mattress container. Up to $10,000. So that's, I don't know, that's the first grant the Board of Health has ever gotten. So thank you very much.
Yeah, good job.
I am starting to research the purchase of a container. I had a rather confusing conversation with Irene Condon about trailers and picking up things in other towns. And I just quietly listened because I think our approach is we get the container and it's just our mattresses that go into it. And when it's
Yes.
full, we haul it. We're not gonna get involved with other communities. Certainly not at this point. I see no reason to. Because it's gonna be our equipment and our contracted hauler.
Oh, excuse me for a second.
Well, one of the things that the board will have to be to discuss before we can purchase container, before we can sign off on the first set of documents, is how much we're gonna charge for the mattresses once we start collecting them.
Right. And where are they gonna go?
Right
that's-
now, there are three
figure out.
places.
Yeah.
Right now, there are three places they can go. There may be a fourth one coming online in Worcester. That's,
With that?
you know, I hope DEP isn't, or maybe they are listening, but dealing with them with this is kind of a fractured fairy tale because, you know,
Yeah.
gotta do
Yeah.
the mattress thing, but they don't have all the vendors lined up yet. So we really can't go out and see if there are price differences between the vendors. There
Right.
may be one in Worcester, there's one in Fitchburg, there might be one in Milford, there might be one in Fitchburg. So, you know, we're just right now along for the ride, but what we need to do is keep doing what we need to do so that we can go out and purchase something so that we're not caught short come November 1st.
Right.
And then there's a slew of operational things that come with that, but we don't have to talk about that now. I'm more interested in making sure we're able to buy the container because we have a grant, and then figuring out where it's going to go, and then getting a price from BP for hauling.
Okay.
And I have been asked, not instructed, I've been asked to limit or actually eliminate my personal interactions with Pete for the time being. So
If there's any word, just send it to me about it.
I'm gonna be getting in touch with Bobby and Sue relative to.
We can't be talking about this. This is a violation. Because it's considered a personnel issue. June warned me about that.
Well, you're right, but the board
We'd
needs
have-
to know. I'm sorry. You know, you're right, Donna. You're right. All right,
Okay.
enough said. That'll be
Okay, I'm
dealt
sorry.
with. No,
Yeah.
no, you were absolutely right. My
Yeah.
bad. My
No,
bad.
it's okay. Just text and.
It's just
yeah.
that, yeah, I'm gonna cut it there. It's just that we're
Right.
gonna have to shift who
Yep,
has conversations. That's all I'm gonna say.
absolutely.
All
Okay,
right?
that's fair.
And that'll play out.
Okay.
Let's see, other than that.
Oh, we also, we think we missed a deadline with something with the Irene Congdon too.
August 1st deadline.
Yeah, and Sue couldn't get the link to work, so I did email her
Oh, okay, good.
today. But we hadn't heard back and I was there till 2, so I still, and I'm not sure if it's something that we missed or we had done. But, you
I don't
know,
know. I talked to her today and she said nothing about that. And then,
oh,
then I
'cause that's-
saw an email relative to an August 1st deadline and I was confused. I was confused.
Yeah.
That was the waistband compliance form. I found some sort of form out on the Mass DEP thing. It's
Yeah.
for the year the calendar year 2020.
okay.
And what it's asking for is stuff that we already report to the DEP in our annual
Yeah.
survey. So
All
I'm
right,
confused.
the next couple of
Yeah.
days are gonna be hot and humid, and I think I'm gonna spend more time on the telephone and working inside than doing anything else, and I'll try
Smart.
and drill down with Irene, and she mentioned someone else's name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and, another, this one's almost kind of funny. Over a month ago, I requested someone in town who's the liaison with Spectrum. This is changing subjects because we want to get cable down to the transfer station.
Yeah,
Well, nothing's happened in the past month.
Right.
So I sent an email again today saying, hey, haven't heard from these guys. So a little while later, I get a call from some gal with residential cable for Spectrum. And I explained what I'm looking for.
Residential.
And she said, I need to transfer you. So she transferred me to commercial. And I spoke with the individual there and he said, oh, yeah, this is the wrong department. Let me transfer you.
Jeez.
Transferred me to government.
Okay. Okay.
And that one also did not work. And that person transferred me to yet another department, which they didn't identify themselves, but I got someone who finally gave me name and phone number of a regional manager. And I'm just thinking, this outfit makes millions of dollars and they can't even determine who to send you to when you request, and I was pretty specific. I said, town of Berlin, small town, we have cable on the street. We need to bring in another 4 poles for community purposes. No. So I finally do have another name and number of someone who I'm going to call tomorrow, because we really do need to get cable brought to the transfer station, and with ARPA funds available,
Can we do it through Verizon, Paul?
What?
Can we get that internet hooked up through Verizon, through the phone?
Oh, I think they took,
The reason, there are a couple reasons why Verizon doesn't work, because we want to get landline and we want to get internet down there for a variety of
Verizon has
reasons.
internet, yeah.
Yeah, but
I have-
they cannot do the what do I want to call it?
The landline?
No, if we want to get cameras and stuff down there,
Yeah,
They don't
that's
have
run
the
through the,
bandwidth.
that's the internet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would work.
But we need a good bandwidth so that if we install cameras, it would have enough bandwidth to send the pictures.
As long as it has 5G, that's all you're looking for is 5G with, it's just a suggestion, because I have Verizon, here, but you need 5G, and rather than try to get Spectrum in there, which is a whole cable, maybe it can be done through the Verizon line. I'm not sure.
I'm not, well, I'll certainly look into it, Bobby. There's no problem with
Yeah.
that. I'm not sure that Verizon even has a line that goes to the location on Jones Road.
Oh, okay.
Because-
I didn't know.
point, yeah.
Now, because Tom
Yeah.
Galvin never did that. It was cell phones, and we got a crappy cell phone down there.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, they,
And frankly, there's so many days when there's only one person
Right.
working, there's
Right.
safety concerns, so,
Right.
Right.
Did we keep the landline, or is that gone? No.
they took it away.
they took it
Oh,
away.
they
They-
did. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Now, what about like,
Yeah, That's
like a
right.
Comcast Xfinity or something? Are they in Berlin too or not? 'Cause I've got,
No,
Oh, okay.
We're stuck with.
we're
Spectrum and-
stuck for another
Okay.
4 years with Spectrum.
oh, I know nothing about them. Okay.
They're
'Cause I
they're
used-
contracts.
I used to have Verizon. I had them for the home phone, the internet, but not cable. So I don't know.
Right.
Well, part
Right.
of my thinking and conversations with other officials at the town hall is, Spectrum services the town, so we should have a little bit of clout with them
Sure. right.
relative to helping us out with this. And it's going to
Yeah.
cost us, but
Yeah,
it needs to be done. That's all.
yeah, I agree with the landline and the internet
Okay.
would be helpful too. But,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we may not need the internet today, but transfer station isn't going away. So
right.
we need to be on board and up to date.
We're
All right,
proactive.
I've got nothing else. Do I hear a motion?
Yay, I make a motion.
Yay.
You in a hurry?
I'll second.